Buddy, I'm on now. Not sure what happened before. This program is hit or miss. One minute it works, the next minute it doesn't. So I probably need to look at doing something else probably. So let's get to it. Let's go while we're on here. This is not in my viewing area. This is over in Mississippi. If you look here, this is where I'm from, and the reason I'm on is because my parents are in danger with this, or of concern with this system here. This pink box you see here is called tornado confirmed. So it looks like I'm reading your confirmed tornado was located over Raymond, moving at 45 miles per hour. This is going to be very close to, it's actually just east of Raymond there, right along Highway 18, pretty close to Spring Ridge Road now, and that is where my parents live. But I'm looking at the velocities on here, and I just don't see it, honestly. I really don't see it. I mean, you can look at it, and I just don't really see anything that's super significant there. There was a bit of rotation there associated with the rotating updraft there within this line of storms. It was near Raymond. But you don't really see you don't see a lot of where the winds are kind of dancing with each other. You don't see the reds and the greens interacting with each other. In my opinion, this is not a tornadic signature on radar. Wind, yes, but not a tornadic signature on radar. I'm trying to keep my mom up to loop here. So, like I say, in my opinion, I don't know what's going on with this thing. I really have no idea what's wrong with the audio here on my stream here. I freaking have no idea. This should not be doing this. Oh, here we go. See, it's not even trying to share. It's not even trying to let me select, the right microphone in here. Nobody ever gets Streamlabs. Streamlabs is the worst program ever. This is terrible. Don't do Streamlabs. This is a terrible program. So let me see if that works here. So that's going to let me work. But like I say, it works 1 minute and it doesn't work the next. So, okay. So maybe now you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me now. All right. So anyway, let's get into this. Let me take this ticker off. So let's get into this. This is a full screen grab here. Like I say, this was a situation where there was a confirmed tornado, but I still don't really understand how it's a confirmed tornado here, honestly. I just don't see it. I'm looking at what's called the velocities here. I'm even going to go back to another velocity there. And notice how these winds, these blue colors here in this instance, they're stretched out from near Pocahontas all the way down to about the Forest Hill, Jackson, Mississippi area. To me, that looks like a straight line wind. Now, you do see a little hole in there where there is a little bit of an updraft. So if there is a tornado in that, it would be very weak. I'm looking at the possible debris, and I do not see much in the way of possible. There might have been a little bit there kind of southwest of Raymond. So with a line of thunderstorms, this is not like we're dealing with the supercell. With a line of thunderstorms, you typically get, if you do get a tornado, it's usually a quick, brief spin-up type tornado. It's usually not a big, violent, nasty tornado or anything like that. It's usually a quick spin-up type of ordeal within these lines. And if you look, you've got basically just a line of thunderstorms. But occasionally within the lines, you get some little kinks. And, so there they are. They downgraded, the Weather Service there in Jackson downgraded the tornado warning from observed to just back to a regular tornado warning now. So if we stop this from moving, again, this is a line. I do not see rotation in this thunderstorm at this time. But where the tornado warning extends from, near or the south side of Clinton, right along Spring Ridge Road, north of Byram. This is actually my neck of the woods. I'm from this area, so I'm very familiar with all the back roads, everything there in between. There's Highway 18, and then it kind of rotates into Jackson. There's Interstate 220. So the tornadic portion, or the portion that's warned, my mom says she thinks she heard it. She said lights just went out, lots of wind. Yeah, it's a wind signature, Mom. It is not a I don't see a tornadic signature in this. Honestly, I do not. I just don't. I see this being um, I see this being just a wind signature. I'm looking on velocities at this time, and I just don't see much there. I can even go back. So if you go back and look at this, so you might have had a little bit of a swirl over here near Learned, Oakley, kind of just southwest of Raymond, Mississippi. Okay. If you advance this, you can almost see what looks like a little donut in there, but you don't see these red colors. So you don't see a lot of circulating winds in there. You know, you still might see that little donut, but I think that's associated with the updraft and the thunderstorm. I don't see anywhere in here where there's a tornadic circulation. If there is, it's very, very weak. I'm even going back and looking at a different velocity product, and I just don't see it. We can look at, this is debris. This is called the correlation coefficient. And what you look for, you don't look at these blue colors out here. You look at these red colors. And if you can get what's called a bit of a lull there, or a bit of a, I forget what the correct term is for it, but right in there where there's that little blue color you see, that might have been a little bit of debris. A lot of trees in this area, so that might have been a little debris there, but not much. You may have had a little debris there south of Raymond with that, but again, not much. If we go on out, that just completely, just mostly goes away. We can look at the base reflectivity, and you don't even see a hook in here anywhere. So, and I know I probably don't have many folks watching from the Jackson, Mississippi area, but if you are watching from the Jackson, Mississippi area by chance, just by chance you are, then what you need to do is just make sure that, you kind of get into your tornado safe spot until this storm pushes on through, okay? Like I say, this is a wind signature on radar. I do not see a tornadic signature here at this time. If you follow it, the line goes from north central Mississippi. You've got, now that's actually a pretty interesting looking cell there just east of Bentonia, Mississippi. So my mom and them, they survived it without any problem, sounds like. Sounded like a lot of wind, light went out, but nothing too major there, which is good news. But I did want to go on here because I do got family and friends that live in that area, and I don't know that they're watching me right now, but they may be. So, this is up towards Florida. That to me, storm has very weak, signatures that might represent a little spin, but it doesn't look like much there even. But that's probably got some hail in it. That's a pretty good hail there. Southern parts of Yazoo County, probably some pretty good hail coming through Pocahontas, headed right at Ridgeland. This across Interstate I-55, moving right along the Interstate 20 corridor. If I stop this, this triangle here shows 3-inch hail size and diameter there near Clinton. So there could be some pretty big hail with this too. But where the tornado warning is, to me, just looks like wind. I do not expect this to be a tornado. This is not like we're tracking big supercells. I would be very surprised if we, wound up with it. If we do get it something, it'd be probably brief and quick and a spin up. So you got one there. You got a little bit of a notch, or almost what looks like a little bit of a hook there. Oh, probably along Raymond Road near Forest Hill High School. And, from there, it's just headed right at the south side of Jackson. Then it'll cross Interstate 55 and head right over here towards Richland and Florence and Richland area. Well, actually north of Florence, but headed towards Richland and then Pearl. But, and eventually would be over towards Brandon. But I really don't. And let's look at the velocities again. And everything is just stretched out. Notice how it's just kind of stretched out. When, you see this stretched out like that, that is when you start worrying more about, strong winds and less in the way of, anything tornadic. So, this just looks like to me a strong wind gust moving through the central Jackson, Mississippi area. In fact, I would think that the tornado warning would be allowed to expire here pretty soon. I don't think this is going to be anything that's going to continue there, but there might be off and on tornado warnings in here from time to time, maybe. So maybe. So we'll have to just kind of see how it goes. But I'm not going to stay. I got to go back to work myself. Here in good old Wichita Falls, where we're not dealing with this tonight. We're dealing with just some thunderstorms, nothing severe. The weather here has really been too cool for, a lot in the way of tornadoes and that kind of stuff. So we really hadn't had to worry about that much here yet this year. And I like it that way. We don't have to worry about it at all. I'd be just fine with that if we didn't. So, but anyway, I do apologize for having some audio issues. It seems like every time I come on here, I have audio issues. So I'm going to work to put that to bed, hopefully, and fix all of that. But again, if you're in Jackson, Mississippi, this is going to be east of Clinton, east of Raymond now. If you're in those areas, we still got this tornado warning. But it appears to me as though this is a wind signature on radar and nothing tornadic. Some of the winds could gust up above 50, 60 miles per hour, so it's going to be pretty windy with that line. And then you're going to come in, you're going to see some heavy rain, and there could be some hail, especially where you see these silver colors. That represents what looks like some pretty decent hail to me. And this is mostly a line. You might have a supercell up here near Bentonia. Notice this line here. There is this is historically speaking where you see this line is where there's been some pretty violent tornadoes in the past. Matter of fact, the most violent tornado to ever hit Jackson, Mississippi moved in this area. Well, the city of Brandon, Mississippi comes out and builds a water tower right next to the Doppler radar there. So guess what? The radar beam it can't see here because the water tower blocks it. So, I don't know, what needs to be done, but they need to fix that because that's dangerous. That's going to, you can't really see. This is kind of a dead zone. You can't see what's going on there. So that city needs to fix that. Or the Weather Service needs to work with them on fixing that. So, matter of fact, I think in Durant, Oklahoma, there was a problem like that somewhere, and they built the Doppler on top of the water tower. So maybe they could do something like that. But mostly strong wind gusts within this line and some hail. And it's moving right at Interstate 55, about to cross there. I'm not worried about tornadoes at this time with this storm. I really never was. My mom texted me and said, "Hey, we're under tornado warning." And her favorite meteorologist isn't working today, so he's off. So I was like, "Well, I better get back on here and take a look at this." So she could be, feel maybe a little more at ease. If you do see any circulations there, you look. Notice like right here where you got these reds and this blue color, that's kind of mixing together. Now that would be, something more that you would see there. You probably would see, something there with that. You're welcome there, Mr. Lamont Brown. But that's where you would look. You'd look for this little circulation like that. I don't see anything here that's just, that's what you get with these lines of storms. You just get some, quick spin ups within them sometimes, but it's mostly just heavy rain and hail pushing on through. But I did want to jump on here and, like I say, family and friends. A good friend of mine, Lamont Brown, which was at the eclipse with me yesterday. He was on here watching. So he was with me in Dallas at the eclipse. Still just incredibly starstruck by the, I guess I shouldn't say that, incredible awe by the eclipse there. It was incredible. So, but anyway. Again, I don't see anything major here coming through Jackson outside of strong winds. If there's the latest radar update, and I still don't see anything, I'm going to switch velocities here real fast. And in fact, it looks weaker now than it did when I first got on here. You look at these reds. This is junk over here, though. That's nothing to be concerned with there. And you may wonder what the difference between, I'm just looking at two different types of velocity products. One is just showing just the thunderstorm wind, and the other one shows the thunderstorm wind with motion. Like it shows it also takes into account the movement of the storm. So that's why I'm showing two different versions here. All right. Well, I got to go back to work myself, so I am going to jump off here. I really need to work on my audio issues here. I've got some audio issues that need to get fixed, so I need to do that here, here soon. Get that fixed. All right. Thanks, guys. I think you're all in good shape. I don't think that you have anything much to worry about. Yeah, James, I do think it could be some active weather next week.